We earlier saw the markets jumping on this theme and running with it. We saw gains on Chinese equity markets. We saw MSCI Asia Pacific up near 2-month highs. And that seems to have faded a little bit. What's been the market's interpretation of this?
So they have faded, but you've got to put in context just how immense some of the recent moves are. I mean, Hong Kong stocks are up more than 20% from the lows, 2 weeks ago. It's really quite phenomenal. They're already heading for their best month this century, as we talk about, since, the recovery from the great financial crisis, the Asia crisis, the prior crisis. So really, we've seen some incredible moves already this month, and yet Hong Kong stocks are up another chunk today. Chinese stocks are a little bit more mixed, but remember, it's harder for the international community to get access there, and they remain a little bit more nervous about what the overall direction is on China policy. But I think generally, as Sophia made clear, this is another big step. It is a potential game changer. It follows on from a market that is looking for positives in the wake of the shift post-National Party Congress to open up, to prioritise the economy.
What about what's going on with the dollar? You referenced this when we talked about what was on the GMM, and we'll talk more about Asia currencies a little bit later. But the dollar bouncing again today. All we seem to have had is another Fed comment, this time from Waller, talking about how there's still a way to go with rate hiking. But I guess most of us knew that, and we've heard a lot of this pushback from Fed officials post that CPI print last week.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be a big theme of this week, is Fed officials pushing back on people getting too carried away from that soft inflation print. And, this goes back into the longer-term theme that we've been talking about, that overall, yes, we might be past peak inflation, but it's going to be about persistence of inflation. That's really going to be the theme for next year, maybe. In the short term, yeah, yields are going to stay heavy, even though Fed officials are going to fight back, maybe until December, maybe until the jobs print, CPI print there, and then that FOMC. So I think that yields haven't peaked out, and that makes the dollar picture complicated, even though I think the dollar probably has peaked. Why do I think we get that divergence? Well, I think a large part of dollar strength has been this relative asset story, and I think assets around the rest of the world can turn around now that rates are going to go up more slowly in the US, now that we're getting closer to the end, and therefore I think the asset outperformance can support other currencies against the dollar going forward.
Do you see anything that explains why we've got crypto bouncing this morning, Mark? I mean, I know we've been following the story surrounding FTX, of course, for a long time. Unauthorized withdrawals seem to be the headline there, as well as possibly facing criminal investigation in the Bahamas. And none of this sounds like the basis for a rebound. I guess Bitcoin not bouncing much. Less than 1%. It's not much in Bitcoin land.
No, but most cryptocurrencies were down another few percent this morning. That would look like that was kind of an ongoing theme. Most of them are making fresh lows, led by Solana. That was the case as I left my desk and wandered around, got a coffee. I walked into the studio, and just the headlines are reading, it suddenly spiked. I think it's Binance-related news, but I don't have the full story yet.
OK, we'll keep digging into that one then. Remember, you can get up-to-date analysis and insight from Mark and the rest of the Markets Line team. MLIV Go is the function to use on your Bloomberg terminal.